and the big bad pig at the gym cat library. Once upon a time, there was a mother wolf who had 3 little wolves. The mother was in her bed and she asked them to come over there. So they did, and she said it was time for them to set off on their own. But she said to look out for the big bad pig, and they said they would. So they went off and they found a kangaroo with bricks. They asked her for some bricks, and she said yes, and they built a brick house, and then they started playing games. Then the big bad pig came stomping down the road, and they all got inside, and he said, little pigs, let me in. And they said, not by the heads, on chins, not for all the China tea leaves in our China teapot. So then he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he couldn't blow that house down. But he wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went somewhere and he got a sledgehammer. And then he used it to knock down the houses. But they escaped just in time. The little wolves escaped just in time. And then when they were walking down the road again, they met a beaver with concrete. So they asked him for some buckets of it, and he said yes. So when they got to the place they wanted to build their house, they built it and they started playing games. And then the big bad pig came stomping down the road and he said, little pigs, let me in. And they said, not by the head, little wolves, let me in. And they said, not by the heads on the chins, not for all the China tea leaves in our China teapot. So, he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he couldn't blow the house down. But he wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went somewhere and got a pneumatic drill, and then he drilled the house down. So, but they escaped just in time. When they were walking down the road again, they saw a rhinoceros, and he was carrying a load of big, heavy metal stuff. So they asked him for some big, heavy metal stuff, and they said yes. So they built the big, heavy metal stuffed house, and they started playing games. And then the big bad pig came stomping down the road. And he said, little pigs, let me in. So then, but then they said, not by the heads on our chins, not for all the China tea leaves in our China teapot. So then but he wasn't called big and bad for nothing. So he went somewhere and he got dynamite, and they blowed up the house. Boom! But they escaped just in time. And when they were walking down the road again, they saw a flamingo, and she was carrying a wheelbarrow of flowers. And they asked her for some flowers, and the flamingo said yes. So they built a flower house, and they started to play games. But then the big bad pig came marching down the road, and so they all got inside, and he said, little pigs, let me in. And they said, not by the heads on our chins, not for all the China tea leaves in our China teapot. Little huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. The lobo escaped, and then the pig huffed, and he just kept smelling the flowers, and then right then he decided to be a big, good pig, At first the wolves thought it was a trick, but then they knew it was real, so then they all started to play games, and the pig asked them if they could live if he could live in their house, and he said yes, and they said yes. So then they lived happily together ever after.